How to crown guitar frets. With use and dirt, the strings of the electric or acoustic guitar wear down the upper part of the frets, and they lose their original rounded shape, creating edges on both sides of the fret. These edges make it difficult for the fingertips to slide across the fretboard, and they also wear out the strings excessively. To solve this problem, we would have to crown the frets, following the steps listed below. First, we would have to remove the guitar strings. We can do this operation more comfortably if we cut the strings. This way, they will be able to go out with greater comfort, and on the other hand, we will avoid possible chafing. Obviously, it is always better to loosen the strings previously. To cut the strings, we can use cutting pliers or a string cutter coiler, a cheap and very useful tool that no guitarist should be without. The next step to crown the frets would be to cover up the neck with masking tape to protect the wood from the sanding that we will have to apply to the frets. We can have several pieces of tape ready before we start. It is highly advisable to cover part of the guitar body with tape to protect it from possible accidental scratches. Since when sanding the last frets, this area may become exposed to the abrasion of the sandpaper. After taping the wood and exposing the frets, we will have to apply 600 grit sandpaper with the tool we see in the image. This tool is nothing more than a wooden block with a channel to insert the fret and thus be able to sand it evenly. We would have to use this tool, always following the curvature of the fret, so as not to wear it down more in the center than on the sides. We can build one just like it with a wooden block with measurements approximate to those in the image. Next, we place the block, marked with a line in the center, in a vise to hold it. We can use a cutter to remove a little wood in the marked part to make a slight hole. Once the channel has been made so that the 3 mm round file sits well on the wooden block, we only have to file. Then we would have to do checks on the fret until the indentation is slightly deeper and wider than the fret. Now we have to place a piece of 600 grit sandpaper joined by masking tape on the tool to make a tube through which we will insert the tool. In this way, we can rotate the sandpaper on the wooden block as it wears out. Once the tool is prepared, we have to moisten the sandpaper, wetting our finger a little to spread only a drop on the sandpaper. If we get it too wet, you can undo the masking tape placed on the neck and end up sanding the fingerboard wood. Now we just have to sand the frets back and forth following the curvature of the fret. We must always check the state of the sanding, for to wear the fret only as much as necessary, being careful not to break the masking tape on the neck. If the tape were to break, we would have to place a piece over the break to be able to continue sanding. Once all the frets are crowned, we repeat the process, but this time with moistened 1000 grit sandpaper to smooth the fret. After finishing crowning, the last step would be to polish the frets with a cotton pad and some metal polish. We will finish the polishing with a dry cotton pad to obtain a spectacular finish. Next, we can remove the masking tape to place a new set of strings. As you can see, the fret crowning is not something complicated to do or that can cause serious damage to our fretboard, since the sandpaper used is not too rough. We just have to sand all the frets a little, and we will have our instrument in perfect shape again.